This is Blue Dahlia Kitchen, and I am Cassie. We will be making a recipe today from recipes from our files. This cookbook is prepared by the Ames Business and Professional Women's Club of Ames, Iowa. It was published in 1960, and we will be making the recipe delicious 1-egg cake. It says in parentheses, good with lemon sauce. I did not see the lemon sauce recipe, so we will not be doing that. The instructions on this recipe are very limited also. It gives all the ingredients, and then the only instruction it gives is bake in moderate oven for 30 minutes. So I'm just going to do what I think I'm supposed to do, and we'll see how it turns out. So they want you to use 1/4 cup of butter. All right, so that's half a stick. I'm using the little cheat sheet on the side of on the wrapper of the butter. It says 1 egg well beaten, so I probably should have put that in the mixer first and started to beat that and then add the rest of the stuff in. So we're just going to mix the egg with the butter. 1 egg. You know, since I live in the middle of Iowa and previously before this, I lived in western Nebraska where nobody lives. So some of the recipes that I've made previously, the ingredients can be kind of hard to find. So that's why I'm going to try and tell you where I sourced everything. But around here, most of the time it comes from Walmart or Hy-Vee or Fairway, mostly Walmart. If I have to make a special trip for any ingredients, I'll let you know, but usually Walmart. So let's beat the egg and the butter, I guess. I don't know what their definition of well beaten is. Also, I let the butter soften because I made buttercream frosting to go on this cake. It says to use lemon sauce in parentheses, but didn't really care to look for the recipe for that, so this is where we are. All right, cake flour. I think the egg's well beaten. I'll turn that off for now. So 1.5 cups of cake flour. There's a 1/2 cup. I'll just do 3 1/2 cups so I don't make less mess. Once again, if you were to watch a professional do this, they would probably sift the flour first. I'm not a professional, so I'm not going to do that. Try and get the flour fluffy in the measuring cup and then kind of even it off. Like I just don't try and like pack a ton down there like you would with brown sugar. And then I just kind of smooth it off with my finger. Once again, you should probably use like the back of a butter knife, but here we are. 3 1/2 cups equals 1.5 cups. Great. So then we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'll be using imitation vanilla. I don't know where I got it. I don't know how old it is, but here we are. 1 teaspoon. Great. I need 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And that, kid, is why you always double check that you are adding the right thing in before you throw it in. A teaspoon of vanilla. Whoop, right in there. Great. 1/2 cup sugar. Yay. My lovely sugar container that I got from an estate sale for, I think, $1 for a set of 2. 1/2 cup of sugar. Once again, just try and get a nice even spread on it. Sugar in. All right, then we're going to need a 1/2 cup of milk. It doesn't say what kind of milk. This was put out in 1960, so I'm going to say that our whole milk is probably going to be the correct answer. half a cup of milk. And then we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Yeah, baking powder. The nice thing about baking powder, at least in my experience, is they have this nice little lip here so you can smooth your spoon off right there. Mix it all together. See what happens. I'm gonna start it slow so the flour doesn't all blow up into my face. Should probably make sure your bowl is actually on your mixer well enough that it doesn't move a lot. Great. It still looks a little chunky in there, which I'm sure is because I did not sift the flour. I'm gonna scrape the edges down a little bit because we got some flour kind of blown up on there. I'll make sure it goes all in there. This does not look like very much cake dough. All right. It looks like it's probably as good as it's going to get. I don't know. I'm not a big cake batter person, so I don't know comparatively how that tastes. My cake pan is unfortunately at my mother's house, so I'll have to find alternative ways to bake this. And it did not make a lot of cake dough. Like that's it. I know we put a lot of baking powder in there, so maybe it will raise. I don't know. We'll see. All right. I don't have my cake pan, so we're going to use one of these casserole dishes. This is how my mother and grandmother always made cakes, and they didn't even try to remove it from here. They just cut it out through frosting on top. So since this is my grandma's cookbook, we'll do that. I'm going to butter it so it doesn't stick too bad. Do this the right way, I guess, if I have to. This is the butter I had pre-softening from earlier, so it is very soft. Normally you would oil it and then put flour on it, but like this is how my mom and grandma always did it, was just rub a fuck ton of butter on the inside and hope for the best. All right, there we go. There's our buttered cake pan. This is how they always did it, so I'm just gonna pretend like that went all as planned. I guess I'm gonna spread this out in here. All right, there's that. So I have not been preheating the oven like I should be. Totally forgot about it. It says bake in moderate oven for 30 minutes, so I'm gonna refer to the cheat sheet. All right, well, according to this cheat sheet, a moderate oven would be 350 to 375. There's not a lot of cake here, so I'm gonna say 350. And then I'll bake it for 30 minutes and toothpick test it and then evaluate that from there. All right, let me throw him on in there and we'll hope for the best. All right, see you in 30 minutes. So here's our 1 egg cake. It did not rise very well. 350 at 30 minutes seemed to do the trick. I will say that I think the buttercream frosting needs more powdered sugar. It just seems a little soupier than it should be. I've been letting this chill for a few hours in the refrigerator, and it actually comes out pretty clean out of here. Like, there's not a ton of mess.
Somebody's going to ask why cold cake. Just didn't know if there was a reason for it.
It's mostly because this buttercream was kind of soupy, and I was hoping to...
And it needed to set up faster?
Yeah. I needed to firm it up a little bit. This cake is dense.
It does look thick.
All right. It's kind of flavorless.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on here.
It definitely tastes like a recipe of a white woman of the 1960s.
The icing feels a little bit like it didn't get fully incorporated.
Yeah,
Like it's a little gritty.
It does say in the recipe it'd be good with a lemon sauce, but I didn't look up a lemon sauce recipe. I do think the cake is so kind of flavorless.
It is, but it's not bad. Like there's still flavor to it. You know, giving a cake like this at a kid's birthday party is going to go over well. It's sweet. There's not a whole lot of complex flavors going on. But if you're trying to impress your adult friends, this might be a cake to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
It does taste good though, and that it doesn't taste bad. It does feel like the buttercream frosting is the thing that helps that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're a fan of adding flavors to cakes, this is a great foundation for you to add whatever flavoring you want, because that flavoring is going to be the note of the cake.
There was not a lot of wet ingredients in this, and I taste that. It's kind of dry.
It is dry.
I feel like this would be good if you got some like pie filling, like some maybe like cherry pie filling, and mixed it in and baked it in.
I would give this, of the cakes I've eaten, I would give this probably a 4.
That sounds
4 out
right.
of 10.
Yeah, 3 or 4 out of 10. It's fine.
Yeah, if I went to a party and this is the cake they gave me, I would happily eat it. But it's not something I'm going to tell my friends about. And not the highlight of the party.